St. Louis Battlehawks head coach Anthony Becht was on the radio this past week, and he dropped some interesting news tidbits we want to get into. Of course, in the beginning, he talked about the highlights of the St. Louis's role, setting the standard for fan engagement and team performance. Totally agree with that. He talked about the upcoming draft, but he also talked about two interesting things I want to cover, and this was on News Talk St. Louis. The first thing was he talked about the model and how the St. Louis, of course, is the model for all of these leagues. It was USFL or XFL. I mean, they are the franchise. The other thing coming to this season, he said that this Battlehawks were able to protect the bulk of their core players. We also, of course, talked about the draft coming up there. Coaching staff changes. He addressed the coaching staff at St. Louis. And of course, the challenges with the league mandate. He mentioned the fact that the league actually lowered their budget for coaches. So there's going to be more responsibilities for the different coaches. He said there are some changes, but he said Bruce Gradkowski will be the offensive coordinator and Donnie Abraham will be the defensive coordinator. They are back, but the staff is a little bit smaller than normal, and they're going to have more responsibilities because the league, remember, they cut everything down. They think that this could be the basement, the bottom to run this league and see how things go moving forward, if that actually works. He talked about the playoff structure. He said the division winners will make the playoffs. They'll get in, and then the next two best teams, regardless of division, will be into the playoffs. So technically, under that platform last year, the St. Louis Battlehawks would have been in. The Arlington Renegades would not, but the Arlington Renegades won the championship. So there you have it. But they are going to change that rule. So whoever wins the XFL division and the USFL division, let's say St. Louis, and then the next team is Birmingham Stallions. They win the division. Then even if it's DC Defenders and San Antonio Brahmas, and they have a better record than the Houston Roughnecks or the Michigan Panthers, those two teams will then go to the playoffs. And then so basically winning the division gets you a home playoff. And then the championship game is either going to be in St. Louis. There's rumblings about Arlington. And I know that Canton is also making a push for the championship game as well. Some rules changes. They said there might be a couple of changes, including the famous kickoff rule. They might be tweaking that and maybe going more with what the USFL model did and go with a little bit more traditional stuff. But we heard that Dean Blandino and Mike Pereira are back, so they're working out the details. He did say that the rule book is coming soon, probably on that 15th, if not sooner, when we potentially get the schedule and we get the rule book. So we have those two things as well. If you hear a dog barking in the background, that's my puppy, Callie. She's super excited, and maybe she might be a Battlehawks fan rather than a DC Defenders a fan. Talked about the vision of the future. He says now that it's all under together, the number of teams can be tweaked after the season. They want to grow and they want to build, and they also want to make it the right way and make sure that it's a long-term success. So it's a good interview from Anthony Becht. If you want to check it out, you got there's links to our article on News Talk St. Louis, but the playoff changes, which is great. The St. Louis Battlehawks, I mean, they are picking up some. They, I think, are the team to beat in this league. I think St. Louis Battlehawks and the Birmingham Stallions are the two top franchises, with DC Defenders coming in a close second. And he gave over some details about the season. So everything is coming together, my friends. What do you think? Do you like the rules changes? Maybe going with the USFL kickoff rather than the XFL kickoff? I like the XFL kickoff. What do you think about the rule playoff changes? Do you think that's fair? Let us know in the comments.